Okay, so we're going to go through the process of downloading and printing an object off Thingiverse. So I selected this toothless character just because he looks quick and easy. Now that you've selected your file that you wanted, you'll open it in Cura. And there he is. Now since he has these wings and these ears, they can't be printed in midair, so they're going to have supports. So we'll go over here to our settings, and we're going to scroll down pretty close to the middle to the bottom. We're going to look for something that says supports. And we're going to click on generate supports. I personally like tree supports. They're cleaner than regular supports. In this you can also change the density of him. So if you want him to be more solid, you will go in here on infill and you'll change it. Right now he's at 20%. And you'll want to change that to whatever density that you want. So I'm going to leave him at 20%. There's a lot more settings in here. I would suggest just reading on what each setting does. Temperature is going to be your machine's temperature. So the filament that I'm using, standard filament, so 210 degrees is perfectly fine. 65 is what I run my bed at. A lot of them recommend running it at 60. Okay, then over here, you can actually change the size of him if you want him larger or smaller. But we're going to go back to 100%. And then when you're content with how he is, here you'll hit slice. And that will make it a G-code that your machine should recognize. So while that's slicing, we're going to get the machine ready. All machines are a little different. Yours is going to be different than mine. I've got those two. The third one that I had, I trashed. But all machines, they're going to be similar settings, but different ways to get to them. On mine, I have this little click button. So click. I'm going to heat my nozzle. And you don't have to do this. You can let it do it when it starts to print, but I like to get it preheated. This is also how you would heat it in order to install new filament. And you want to make sure your bed is clean and level. And I'm going to remove the memory card from the machine, and I'm going to plug it into the computer and put the sliced file on the memory card. Alright, I've just stuck the memory card in the machine. Computer recognized that there's a memory card. And you're going to want to save to removable. And it's saving and saved. Always best practice to hit eject. Don't just pull it out of your machine. Sometimes it'll corrupt your files. There's a few other settings. There's a setting for a build plate adhesion. You can use your brim, skirt, raft, or none. If you have a hard time getting everything to stick to your bed, brim is a good choice. It gives you a plastic edging around your print, or a raft will give you a solid base to print on top of. Other than that, you know, I do skirt on one of my machines because it always prints the way it's supposed to. Alright, we're up to temperature. So I'm going to find my file. There's toothless. So I'll click this. The machine will run its home. It'll run to the XYZ axis, set its home, and then it will start printing. Just making sure that it's up to full temp. And just give it a second. Sometimes it takes longer than others. On my machine, especially this one with a glass bed, when it first starts its print, I like to slow down the machine. On mine, I can do that simply by turning this dial. And it'll slow down and allow it to adhere to the bed a little easier. And then once it's got a good layer or two down, then I will run it back to regular speed. See, I turn it down to 50%. So it's going to run this, and this is building its little skirt around the outside of the print, and then it'll build the print on top of it. I hope that helps. There's a lot of settings in Cura that you can go through and play with, but those are the basics. You know, you can change your default settings as far as how your quality comes out. You can do how many walls on top, bottom, wall counts. There's just a bunch of different settings. I would say get online and try to read up on what each one of these do, and it'll make it a little easier for you. And then you'll find neat little things, like there's one down here that'll make it textured. If you want a print to be textured, it'll give you a texture for it. So I would just try it all out. It's not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Alright, hope it helped. Bye.